That's the pressure cooker pulao.
Pressure cooker pulao.
Pulao. In your culture, it's pilaf. This is pulao. This is made a la minute in the pressure cooker as you order it. So it's all individual orders. It's raw rice, raw chicken.
That burnt bottom is unapologetic. Now, if you serve that in this elevated setting, that would be plated differently, garnished differently. We're allowing for you to see something that someone else might consider imperfect because it's burnt just a little, but there's a beauty in that. There's flavor in there. You notice how this is not overly spicy.
My mouth is on fire right now.
We're here on the Lower East Side to check out an unapologetically Indian restaurant spotlighting lesser-known dishes that highlight local flavors. Everything from the design, to the space, to the menu was chosen to make you rethink what you know about Indian food.
The way we call it is, it's the forgotten side of India. Not many people do it or not very proud of doing it, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And that's what we aim for and that's what we focus for. In my imagination, these dishes never were in my zone of putting it on a restaurant menu.
Yeah.
But I think Dhamaka in New York City empowered me and challenged me to put these dishes on the menu where I was confident that it might work.
Growing up, I sort of understood that Indian cuisine in America is always going to be different than Indian cuisine in India. It doesn't have to be that way.
Tell me about the restaurant.
Dhamaka means explosion, but explosion in terms of flavors, life, fun. Not only with Indian food, a lot of ethnic foods. They'll be compartmentalized into these few dishes. And that's what's defining the cuisine. But we are a population of 1.1 billion people. And the cuisine actually changes every 50 miles, 60 miles, or 100 miles. The cuisine keeps on changing. So how do you define that entire country into these 6-7 dishes? And that's where the entire thought process came, that how can we explore those regions where as Indians, we are excited to eat the food.
Yeah.
Chefs are feeling liberated. Fish on the bone, meat on the bone, actual level of fat, not cutting down the spices. But these are subtle choices that has always changed our food from what it is supposed to be to what we have served.
Yeah.
You missed out goat testicles and kidney.
Oh God, yes.
As a Persian Jewish kid in LA, I grew up eating so many different stews, so many different kinds of rice. But when you go to a Persian restaurant, like everyone only goes there to order kebab. So yeah, I appreciate you guys serving what you consider real Indian food.
We actually call it unapologetic Indian.
Tell me how you tie together the design, food, and overall concept of this place.
If you close your eyes and take yourself to the life of a 12-year-old middle-class boy in India, this is what everything feels like. The design is imperfect. It's jaggedy edges, it's layers and textures. There's no white tablecloth on site. You're eating on steel plates, and all those different things that are happening are this idea of what Dhamaka really roots from, which is this explosiveness of it, and putting that on the wall. Chintan has had a very clear conviction from day one. He said, if I'm making this dish, this is how I've seen being made, and I want it like this.
Yeah.
It's different, it's exciting, but it's who we actually are.
I love the passion you guys have.
Yeah.
It's like, it's contagious. I love it. This looks different than the art you have in the dining room.
Yeah, we worked with Sean Mays, who did the mural here. The inspiration behind that is really around this sense of duality. On the left side, you have this woman's face that in many ways represents a mother, somebody you respect, and something that is good in our society. And then it's at the top right, there's this idea that is inspired by sort of the evil side of things. At the bar here, we wanted to bring both of those things because I think similar to our food, which has these conflicting flavors coming together, the good, the bad, everything combined. And that's kind of what we wanted to bring together through this bar.
I remember this incident where we had at one of our restaurants, where there was this lady and she came up to me and she says the food is very spicy, and I said, yes, I know it's spicy, but that's how we want to serve it. She says, oh, you'll have to apologize to me for being like that. And I said, no, I don't need to.
Somewhere you have to put your foot down to say, do I have conviction towards what we're doing?
Yeah.
And that's what Unapologetic Foods is about. It's being your authentic self. That's it.
So this one is papri chaat.
Say it again.
Papri chaat. You
Papri
got it.
chaat.
Papri means those crispy wafers.
Chaat is like a street food and needs to have all the flavors, sweet, spicy, salty. It's like a spiced potato. Then you have a crisp, then you have a mint and a cilantro chutney. Then you have a yogurt which is spiked with a specific kind of chili, rock salt and sugar, a little bit of the magic spice that we have, and the pomegranate.
And it's also very cooling, tangy, sour, sweet, all these flavors coming at you.
I could totally imagine myself walking down the street on a hot day, feeling the cooling of the dish.
I come from Mumbai, and in Mumbai you have these small bars.
Dive bar.
So you pick up your bottle of whiskey, you'll go and sit on your table, and this is like one of the most popular things. It's called paplet fry. This is very close to heart. You literally go like this, and
practically the entire fish, including the bones, are edible.
I love eating with my hands.
We encourage people to eat with their hands. I think it connects us in a very different way with our food.
What a great fish. That was a perfect bite.
It has that little crunch. It has that little touch of sulfur that you smell the back end of it.
That dish really is a ton of flavor. It's delicious.
All right, we have champaran meat. Comes from Bihar.
Wow.
The magic of the dish is this entire whole head of garlic.
I love that.
So this is a prime example of what unapologetic really means. Look at the bones. Look at all this stuff. That's what makes the dish what it is. That's flavor.
This dish reminds me of home.
Really?
This is clearly not a Persian dish, but it does remind me of something that I would eat at home. The mutton is very tender, so easy to eat. Man, this is so good.
the fun is like eating with your hands and then licking your finger. That's the pressure cooker pulao.
Pressure cooker pulao.
Pulao.
In your culture, it's pilaf. This is pulao. This is made a la minute in the pressure cooker as you order it. So it's all individual orders. It's raw rice, raw chicken.
That burnt bottom
Yeah.
is unapologetic. Now, if you serve that in this elevated setting, that would be plated differently, garnished differently. We're allowing for you to see something that someone else might consider imperfect because it's burnt just a little, but there's a beauty in that. There's flavor in there. You notice how this is not overly spicy.
My mouth is on f***ing fire right now.
The truth is we don't know if you're gonna like it. But what we're doing is we're inviting you, come in here and try something that's real.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like it, that's okay. But what you're gonna walk away with is tasting something that's real.
I'm not sure I have seen a better example of a restaurant that ties together their food with their design, with who they are, as well as you guys have. This is unlike anywhere else I have ever eaten, and the world needs to see this and needs to experience more restaurants like this.
Thank you.
Thank you.